Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for a positive spin. Today we're going to be talking about Mac and Me. Now, this was a first time watch for me. I had actually no sort of relationship to this movie whatsoever. I know this came out in 1988, and I did hear about it when when it came out. I heard how bad it was and how much people hated it and how it was ridiculous. It was a knockoff ET and so on and so forth. So I kind of stayed away from it, because not because of what people said so much as the fact that it's just not my type of movie. I mean, I did see ET in the theaters, but that was because I was staying with my cousins at the time and they wanted to go. So I don't know. I've always favored horror movies or martial arts movies or action movies or, sometimes comedies. This was just not something that I would go to, I guess, or seek out. So let's put a positive spin on Mac and Me. Now, first of all, I looked at the IMDb and this actually got a 3.4, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. This being a first time watch and not being the type of movie that I'm used to watching all the time, I actually really enjoyed it and thought it was really cute. Now, the positives I have written down for this is I like the beginning on the other planet that they were from because Mac and his family come over from their planet. They're actually sucked up into a some kind of a space research thing and brought back home. The alien is cute, and I like that he can stretch along with his family. And I like the alien suits. The whole rubber suit thing is really cool. I thought it was pretty cool. The kid being in a wheelchair for me is different, and I thought that that was a nice touch. Now, of course, I'm talking to Joe, and I didn't know whether the kid was actually disabled or not, but I kept saying to Joe, I saw his leg move. I know I saw his leg move. And he said that the kid actually had spina bifida, and he was not completely paralyzed. So, but I just thought that was interesting that he was in a wheelchair. I like the family dynamic, and with that being said, I like the cast. I think the cast is mostly likable. And I mean, while the acting is what you'd expect from that period and, a little bit lower budget, but it didn't really bother me. I don't know. Um, it was fun when Mac redecorates the living room like a desert. I thought that was pretty fun. The cliff scene was hysterical. Now, I do have a little bit of backstory on the cliff scene because I'm sitting there watching it, and like I said, I've never seen this before. And Joe told me that Paul Rudd, whenever he does a promotion for a new movie, will play that scene. I'd never seen it before, but I was dying laughing. Probably not the best thing to do, but I just thought it was funny. Just the way it was done. Um, I like when they dress up Mac as a teddy bear and take him to McDonald's. Another thing I found out is, of course, this was made by McDonald's and Coke. So there's two big sponsors right there. And, kind of adding on to the whole McDonald's thing and the whole dance number and everything like that, which is cheesy, but it was the 80s. I mean, there was a lot of cheese in the 80s. At least I thought so. But it was cool to see Ronald McDonald again since he's been like canceled, you know. Um 3.4 is definitely too low for this. It's just kind of disappointing to see someone rag on a kids movie like that. I like the music in the film. I like the kind of innocence it has up until the end, which I'm going to get to that in a second. The old McDonald's, Joe and I were talking about the old McDonald's, the old containers that they used to serve McDonald's in. this film has a lot of 80s nostalgia, and that was one of the things that really drew me into the film. Um, the last thing I wanted to talk about was the ending was a little dark, and I didn't really expect that. So I'm like, the whole time I'm watching this film, I'm like, yeah, this would make a great kids movie. And then I saw the end part, which I'm not going to spoil in case you haven't seen it. I mean, this was a first time watch for me, so it may be for some of you out there. And I was just like, wow, maybe it's not so much a kids movie, but overall, I think it really is. I had a great time with this. I really did. I've had this in my collection for a while now, and I know that Joe said it was a little harder to find. And I just happened to find it at a thrift store a while back, and I knew I had it. I just couldn't remember where I put it. So, it's nice to be able to watch this because I've heard Brad and Joe talk about this one for quite a while, and I'm glad I finally got to see it. Um, Check out Mac and Me, or don't. This is the only way I can see to do a positive spin on a kids movie because I feel like it's a little unfair to pick on a kids film. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, definitely check out Joe's video for Mac and Me. And remember, guys, physical media matters. And until next time, peace.